So you want to build a giant piston door. I got the video for you. We're going to go through every step of the way. Enjoy. Hey everybody, welcome to what I think is kind of my first instructional build video. So bear with me because I've never really had to do this before. But recently on the server that my friend Amy started up, we've been, we did I did the Ender Dragon and killed a Warden and I've full Netherite, full Enchanted, and I kind of got to the point where I needed a new project, something to entice me, to keep me interested. And thanks to a couple of YouTubers and some recommendations from chat, and I believe Mumbo Jumbo specifically, we made a giant door. Going into building this, I had never done anything with flying machines at all. A lot of the blocks, I'm an old school Minecraft player, but a lot of the blocks are pretty new to me, specifically observers and droppers and using the targets as power transmitters. And so I kind of had to learn the entire thing on the spot, so to say. So I'm going to try and cut that out for you and save you a little bit of time and walk through and explain every piece of the puzzle and what I had to do to make some things work, and hopefully make this a much easier process for you at home, so you too can hit a button and watch your Minecraft client crawl. This is a 6x20 Minecraft piston door driven by the flying machine schematic design that a lot of people are using these days. I never used it before, but I know a lot of people that do watch me were curious on how I got everything to work correctly and how everything's set up. These are just some additional details, and the fact that it is mirrored back to back basically and triggered from one button on either side. We're going to go all the way through the entire process and see where things are. If you don't know anything about flying machines, Minecraft flying machines, as I didn't at the beginning, down here at the bottom, this is probably the best way to kind of show what exactly is happening here just at a base level. I apologize if any of this is jumbled or confusing. I'll try and keep it as succinct as possible. But you'll see here, any good flying machine has a single observer and sticky piston, and another observer, sticky piston, pointing in opposite directions. And the idea is once power has been signaled to it one time, the first time, whether it's the bottom one in this case to start it going up, see the target blocks. Basically what's happening is a power signal is coming down from above. All this redstone is getting lit up. It's treating the target as a transmitter to send power to the dropper block. And then this observer is looking down and saying, oh, the status of this block changed, I will send power up, and it pushes the piston. The same thing works in reverse to send it down, is that this one sees that there's a status change of this block. I'll show you when it's up at the top, but they're basically working against each other, and depending on which one you trigger first, the entire thing engages. Now, in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of flying machines stuck together in interchangeable order here. They're kind of all working as one, so that when it is in the down position, in order for it to go up, all rows, all of those sections have to be signaled simultaneously, sequentially, not simultaneously, and that can get kind of tricky. So we're going to start from this side, kind of how things work. First and foremost, if you want this save file, it's going to be in the description down below, so if you want to get hands-on with it and mess around with it yourself, see how you can break it, because it does break very easily if you don't have it set up exactly right. All that stuff should be available. It should be through a link in the description. Do yourself a favor, go check that out. I want to make sure people understand, first off, these two on the side, in fact, just for this video, they don't even need to be there. This is just for show. I put those in to make sure that it's mirrored left and right for aesthetic purposes. Because if you walk in and let's face it, if it looks like this, you just got exposed on one side and not on the other. It's a little confusing. So I did mirror those side to side, but for this, don't really worry about those. What you do need to worry about is the button. You'll notice across on this side, this is one side of it, there's a button that goes into the dropper. This button sends power signal to this. This observer is pointing down. The face is up. The little red, red butt light where the power comes out is pointing down into this sticky piston. What that's going to do when you push the button is going to push it down, which means the status change happens for the observer. It sends a power signal right here, and it's going to pull it right back up and reset it. No problem there. Works the same on both sides, and you see this is connected across just at the top floor. The reason for that is you need to be able to engage both sides at the same time, because the way I did this door, you only have to do one side of this. But using World Edit and the wand, which is a wooden axe in this case, I copied the entire thing and flipped it so that when you push the button, it looks the same whether you're inside on one side of the door or on the outside on the other side of the door. I liked that better than having the internals exposed. If you're standing in the middle, you can still see it. But if it was just one-sided door, you can kind of you can't see from underneath here. I can break my way up in the middle. It just is not nearly as pretty. It is kind of funny to see all the little faces looking at you, but it's not attractive if you're inside on the back side of the door. It just doesn't look as good. So I ended up duplicating it, and that is the reason for this center line. Technically, I can break this and signal on this side, and just one side of the door is going to go down, right? But for the purposes of using it as a door, that doesn't really work well. So I had to connect the power across the top. I'm going to have to push this guy down too so that everything is reset correctly. Because if you don't, it's going to mess up, and that's real bad. So these guys are coming down. Let me grab some redstone and reset that. Verb to finish, put that there. Okay, so first things first, you hit the button, this engages, and as the power goes across, let me put him back up because that was the position we were talking about it in. So I want to make sure people are seeing exactly how the whole, the order of operations here for this door. It looks like this side might have, oh no, it's still going up. It does cause a little bit of server latency. If you deploy this on like a Realm server, or if you have like a hosting service you use, it's going to push the envelope a little bit because you're moving 800 plus blocks all at the same time. No big deal. Anyway, so the power comes down, signal goes across these, and you see it on both sides. And if you look at it from this side, what that's doing is sending signal to these guys right here. Since it's at the top, in order to get it to trigger to go down, you only actually have to signal to the top row. And what's happening is these guys are getting pushed down. There's a status change within here, so you're getting another signal from this observer, and it's pulling the block down. And up above, let's see if I can get a good angle on it. I might have to show you when it's down. In here, you're getting signal changes all the way down as things are getting pulled by the other blocks. As these are moving down, you're getting power to these guys. It's sending up here, and they start engaging each other sequentially because the flying machines are pulling on each other. And every time an observer sees a block change of whatever block it's observing, it sends another signal burst. And that's how these chain reactions of you push the button, boom, and everything starts moving. You can kind of watch it from this side, see how they're engaging against each other, because every time the observer is seeing a different block change, it says, okay, I'll go ahead and go again. So all these guys right here are all seeing the block change and saying, okay, I'll go again. And it goes all the way down until it gets down here to the bottom, and these droppers act as stoppers because the observers are seeing that and there's no change in it, so they stop. They hold down here at the bottom, the targets get in position to go back up, and everything just kind of pauses. The other side of that is if those need to be there, and we'll talk about why here in a second. Those have to be droppers down at the bottom. They can't be obsidian like what I am technically using up the top. Underneath these guys, this row of obsidian, you can see it on the top up here, but that row of obsidian, the pistons can't push it, so they act as kind of locks. And you position that top row of obsidian as a stopper, and in this case, it's outside of the tunnel because I have the glazed terracotta, which for anybody that doesn't know, glazed terracotta does not stick to honey or slime blocks, so that's why I kind of use it as a smooth surface for the doors to move against. That way it doesn't hit anything and stop. But that obsidian at the top it's imperative that it's there. So that's the going down side, is just signaling that bottom row. The going up side is where things get tricky. So I started talking through it earlier. Like I said, I apologize for kind of jumping around. But you hit the power button, it sends signal down. The piston pushes this guy, it sends a power signal across. That also is going to power here, which is going to see, this observer is going to see a status change of the block above it. He's going to send power to this piston. It's going to do the same. And now as you go down here, you start to see these, there's no repeater on the top. You don't need a redstone repeater for the top one. In fact, you want it to go as fast as possible because it needs to get out of the way of every subsequent row. And you'll see this one is just one tick back. This one is also one tick back, but he's just a little bit lower. So there's another signal change that has to happen here. This one is 2 ticks back because he has to go a little bit slower than the one above. And then this one down here is 3 ticks back. And then this is far enough down that this one being 3 ticks back also ends up working. What is happening here is the repeaters are staggering the signal of redstone power so that the top section goes first, and then the second section, and then the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, all the way down. Because if you don't have those timed exactly right, you end up having the top one move, and then the second one is trying to signal and move too fast, and the third one, nothing's out of the way yet, so it can't even move, and then the door stops. So if while you're testing, you just get the top sections to move maybe 1 or 2 blocks, there's a decent chance that the repeaters down below are not set correctly. And this is extensible all the way down. There's no reason I don't think that I could not continue this pattern, move this bottom section down and continue this middle pattern way, way down and make it a bigger, taller door if I wanted to. And the same thing can be said for extending it left and right. There's no reason that I could not continue this pattern across this way and continue the door. So if 6 by 20 is not big enough for you, make it bigger. Pretty straightforward. So that's the idea behind the door. Do yourself a favor, like I said in the description down below, please go grab that, download it, play around with it. Maybe you can make modifications to it and change the door. You can change the materials out. I got a pattern in the way. And if you are in here, you want to spend a little time learning how to make secret passageways as well, because let's face it, there's a chance you might get stuck in the middle. There's no reason that you can't also make a secret lava door with a lever behind. So in case somebody's kind of messing with you and think you get trapped in the middle, no reason you can't. Go ahead and fix that and give yourself a way out. Thank you very much for watching. Do yourself a favor. Like I said, check the download in the description. If you enjoyed the video, you like the door, you're interested to see more, I'm going to put an elevator video up as well. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, make sure you like the video. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to build some really crazy stuff in Minecraft. I still can't believe this door works, but here we are.
Use code